Welcome to Joe's Astrology and Manifestation video. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about astrology and how it ties in with manifestation, but I'm going to talk more about how to manifest because there's a lot of people interested in this topic, and I think it is very, very much misunderstood. And unfortunately, I'm not very optimistic about how this video or how people will receive this video. I would like it to be very popular, but I'm not very optimistic, even if it was spread all over the internet, that it will be popular. But I hope it helps. This is a book that I have called The Art and Practice of Creative Visualization by Ophiel. It's a small book. It's on YouTube. I'm pretty sure there's a guy who did an audio book of it and talks a lot about it. So if you want to learn more about it, I'd go check out his video. If you just do a search for Ophiel, it will probably come up. And there's something that he mentions in this book that's very important, and it's called the sphere of availability. And what that means is, whatever you're trying to visualize to happen, one of the things you have to respect is it available? First of all, is it available in general? So, for example, if I want to manifest being just, let's say I want to manifest a job in my area, and it's a director job, and there's, I was a tennis coach, so this is a good example. I want to be a director of tennis in my area. Well, there's only maybe three director of tennis jobs in my area, and two of them are seasonal. And if those jobs are filled, I can do all the manifestation work I want. I'm not going to become a director of tennis. Now, if I expand my sphere to the whole United States, then now it becomes possible. So now this is something that I can creatively visualize and start doing some manifestation work to make a reality. And something else he talks about in this book is that if I use that example, well, I probably would have to be a tennis coach first before I become a director. And if let's say there are other people who are just, they generally would take that industry or any industry, and generally speaking, most people are working as that, under that title for 5 to 10 years before becoming a director. Well, it's likely that I'm going to have to work under that title for at least 5 years. So for me to say that I'm going to manifest that in a year or two would be considered delusional. And you could say that it's still possible, but it's a matter of not wasting time on dreaminess, and because that's when it becomes, it's not manifestation anymore. It's just dreaminess, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not gonna get what you want, and then you'll learn in your own time, if you're honest with yourself, that it takes 5 to 10 years. Yeah, so I want to get a little bit into the astrology. Unfortunately, I just recorded something and it didn't record because I don't have enough memory on my laptop. But we'll try again. I want to get into a little bit of the astrology, and I may repeat. I apologize if I'm repeating stuff because I haven't watched the other part, the first part of the video. So a lot of times with people with manifesting, what they're doing is they're just kind of manifesting what's in the birth chart already, or what they come into life with. So like if a person comes into life with certain destiny around meeting a man or a woman, they might think that they manifested that because they were thinking about it a lot and then it happened. Or a successful business person might say that they manifested that, if they have strong aspects in their chart, that if you learn about their early life, you can tell that this was going to be destiny. Like you could almost predict as an astrologer. And a lot of times, what we see, they don't have knowledge of astrology, and they're definitely not to the level of a practicing astrologer. So they are, of course, they're going to think that they manifested that. And perception is reality, right? Perception is reality for them. You can't tell them otherwise. And that's why I think this video isn't going to be exactly what most people want to hear. But the sphere of availability is real. If I want to, say, become an actor, I might have to move to LA or Chicago or New York. I can certainly manifest becoming an actor here. Anyone can be an actor. Anyone can manifest the skills to be an actor with time, work, and effort, and then eventually you become an actor. You put attention on it over a long period of time, you become an actor. But can you become an actor that works for Hollywood? Well, there's lots of competition. There's only so many places. There's only so many people. The sphere of availability is limited. The sphere of availability may be limited in just learning to act because there's no one in your area that wants to work with you. And you have to do it by yourself when you don't have anyone to work with to play off of. But yeah, the Hollywood thing, I think most people, they want to manifest these things that they're just not available. And I don't think they realize that I should back up and say I'm more interested in manifesting things that it can actually come true. Because I don't think it's necessary. This idea to manifest something big, it makes a lot of money, it's a dream, and it's outside the scope of this book. It's outside the scope of this book. It's outside the scope of manifestation as a science. And people will deny that, etc. But again, it goes back to the chart. They don't know. I'm more interested in, does it work for many people? Like if it works just for you and it's specific to your chart, then it's not, well, we're not talking about manifestation. We're talking about more about things like destiny, karma, and things like that. Specifically more destiny than anything else when we're talking about these big things. And more about how astrology works and how this can work is usually when you see a person take an interest in something like, say, acting, you can see it in the chart when they're starting to take interest in it. They're starting the manifestation, and you can see the aspects and the transits and when it's potentially going to come true if they put in the time. And it doesn't have to be like hard work every day or anything like that. It's just you can see if they consistently put some effort and some time into it, something might manifest like a show. Like there'll be the event where they do their first, where they act in their first public show, their first performance. If it's something significant like a performance, it could be a job. Like, you can see where a person might take up some studies and then they manifest that job in say 6 years. They go to college and they go to law school and then they become a lawyer. You can see that manifestation in the chart over that period of time to learn about that trade and learn about that or learn about that business. The time it takes to get customers and things like that. That's the manifestation that is real. And even then, it's not a guarantee that it's going to happen. I know a lot of people they don't believe that. They believe that, particularly in business, that if you do X, Y, and Z over a period of 5 to 7 years, it will happen. It's guaranteed. You can manifest it. That's really big on the internet. And again, not to be, pessimistic or negative, I don't think that's true. I think, you can just look at it. If you're just being realistic in general, things can happen to take you away from that. I mean, ultimately, you can manifest it. If you're like, some people might have to put in 30 years because things happen and things steer you off, take you off the path. You might have to put in lifetimes. If you don't believe in reincarnation, you don't believe in things like that. Again, my view as an astrologer is, yeah, if you want to put in the time, and it could be lifetimes, sure, you can manifest anything, potentially. But in this life, yeah, it just doesn't seem like it works like that. I'm not sure if I didn't mention this in the first part. Ophiel, Creative Visualization, good book. There's a guy on YouTube that does the audio version, talks a lot about this. Yeah, if you want to look at your astrology and kind of play around with the things that I'm talking about, see if they're real, I'd be happy to talk to you. My readings are very affordable right now. Got a lot of availability right now. Contact me here on YouTube or at joesastrology.com. And if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more good stuff coming.